I'm Miss Kathy. I'm the children's librarian at the Miami Township Library, and I'm really excited to be bringing a story time to you this evening. Now, I have a scarf with me, and this is for the very end of our story time. We're going to do a scarf song. So if you would like to grab sometime during this half an hour a small towel or pillowcase or a t-shirt, anything that you can use as a scarf, you'll be able to participate in the last song with me. All right, we're going to start out today with a song that is all about summer. And I've got some art that I created for it to help us along. The first thing we're going to sing about is summer fruit, one of my favorite things. So we have here a slice of watermelon and an apple and some cherries. And we've also got the word crunch, crunch. So there are going to be some fun sounds in our song that you can feel free to repeat after me. All right, it goes like this. Are you ready to begin? Summer, summer fruits to eat. They are tasty, they are sweet. Cherries red, watermelons round. Apples make a crunching sound. Crunch. Can you make that sound with me? Crunch. Very good. Next, a lion. Summer, summer things to do. Picnics, parks, and swimming too. Make a castle at the shore. Go to the zoo and hear the lion roar. Roar. Can you roar with me? Roar. Very good. Next card. Summer, summer popsicle. Also ride your bicycle. Fireworks up in the sky. Boom, boom, boom. Zoom, zoom on by. Can you say boom, boom, boom like fireworks? And zoom, zoom on your bicycle? Let's try it one more time. Boom, 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 zoom, zoom. All right, this is our last card. Summer, summer, ice cream sweet. Melt, melt, melt down to your seat. Ooh, ice cream is a yummy summer treat. Let's try that one more time. Did you end up sitting down when we did that? If not, that's okay. Let's pretend to be ice cream cones. Put your ice cream cone way up over above your head and we're gonna melt down. Ready? Summer, summer, ice cream sweet. Melt, melt, melt down to your seat. Very good, everyone. Thank you so much for listening to my summer song. All right. Now, before we begin our first book of the evening, I want to show you a tiny treasure that I have here today in my tiny treasure jar. Do you know what this is? I'm going to pull it out. This is something we just heard about in our song. This is a nice, juicy red cherry, one of my favorite summer fruits. We sang about cherries just now. There's also going to be some cherries in the first book that I read. So I want you to look out for those cherries in my book. The first book that I have for you today is titled Just in Case You Want to Fly. And it is by Julie Fogliano and illustrated by Christian Robinson. That means that Julie Fogliano wrote the words and Christian Robinson drew the pictures. Okay, so like I said, I would love for you to look out for the cherries in this book and just look at the illustrations really carefully in general. I'm going to try to hold them up to the screen a little bit longer and do a pause there so you can see them because they're wonderful illustrations. The other thing to listen for in this book, in Julie Fogliano's words is rhymes. We're going to hear rhyming words. Do you know what those are? They're words that sound the same. So some examples are snack and back and wish and dish and laugh and giraffe and head and bed. And those are all words that are going to be in our book too. So let's get started with our end pages. The story begins with some birds. And of course, remember the title is Just in Case You Want to Fly. So that makes sense. And then on our title page, we have a butterfly and a caterpillar. And then on our dedication page, we have a little boy flying in a big paper airplane with his dog. That would be a lot of fun, don't you think? All right, let's get started. Remember, look for the cherries and listen for the rhyming words. Just in case you want to fly, here's some wind and here's the sky. Here's a feather way up high. And here's the wing from a butterfly. Here's a cherry if you need a snack. And if you get itchy, here's a scratch on the back. Here's a rock to skip and a coin to wish. And a fork and a spoon and a cup and a dish. Oh, what's on that dish? 2 giant cherries. And just in case you want to sing, here's a la la la. Would you like to sing with these children? Let's try that. La la la, la la la. Beautiful. And a ding ding ding. Oh, home sweet home. There are 2 things about this house that make me think I'd like to live there. There's a cat and look at all those books on the shelves. 2 of my favorite things. Here's a joke if you want to laugh. Bye, son. And here's your toothbrush and your favorite giraffe. Here's a blanket and here's a dream and some kisses on your head. Here's a pillow and here's a song for when you go to bed. Put everything on that shelf. And look where the song is coming from. Do you know what that is? It's a music box. And just in case you want to cry, here's a tissue and here's a sigh. Have you ever let out a sigh like that? That can help sometimes when you feel sad. Just take a deep breath. Here's an umbrella in case it rains. Oh, it looks like fun. And some honey for your tea. We've got some buzz bees. And I love the mug that this honey goes into. It looks like a bear. And here is a map with an X on the spot to find your way home to me. And that is the last word in our story, but our story still continues on to the last end pages and that flock of birds we see again flying. And I want to go all the way back to the beginning of our book, which is the cover and the jacket art. My favorite thing about this jacket is this wonderful little girl swinging here on the tire swing. When I was a little girl, I can remember swinging and pretending like I was flying. Have you ever done that? The other thing I love about this cover art is there's a surprise. Now, if you have library books at home, what I would suggest, since the library books are glued on the flaps and you cannot take the jacket off, I would always peek under the book like this and look at the art on the inside of the book. That's called the case cover, the art that's actually on the book, because sometimes the illustrator does something very special and puts different art on the inside of the book than the outside of the book on the jacket. So would you like to see what Christian Robinson did on the inside of this book? It is pretty cool. And this is my own book, so I can actually take the cover off and show you what he did. We see some of the art that was on the little boy's blanket and also some things that you might remember through our story. Would you like to point to a favorite thing that you have there? Do you see something we were looking for in our book? Now, while kids point to their favorite thing, let me make sure you can see everything here. While kids point to their favorite thing, I want to recommend to adults that you check out with your children Christian Robinson's Making Space videos. He originally publishes those on his Instagram channel, and that is the handle at the Art of Fun, but they are also available on YouTube. So it might be easier for you to just search on YouTube Christian Robinson and Making Space. In those videos, they're only about 8 minutes or so long a piece, and he does a wonderful job of talking to kids about emotions and connecting emotional wellness with art projects. And so I highly recommend you go and check those out. Christian Robinson, Making Space. All right, did you choose a favorite thing? I really like this rhinoceros. And remember how there was a little cherry on top of the rhinoceros's horn in our story? All right, very good. Thank you so much for sharing that book with me. Now, I'm going to put up our next book so you can have a sneak peek at what that is. If you're just joining us, this is going to be our next book. Welcome. I want to talk a little bit more about the book we just read and remember some things from it with some puppets. Got some puppets here for you today. My first one, and all my puppets have something in common. They can all fly. My first one is a bee. Buzz, 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 buzz. Do you remember there being bees in our book? You remember what page that was on? The honey for the tea. Bees make honey. And we had the rhyme tea. And then on the next page, we had the rhyme me, tea and me. And remember the bear mug? Yeah, that's where the bees were. Buzz, 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 buzz. All right, let's see what else I have. I'll bring my box over here so I can easily get them. All right, I've got, this might be something you remember from towards the beginning of our book, and it rhymes with fly and sky, and we only saw the wing in our book. Do you remember? Butterfly. Yeah, remember the wing from the butterfly in the very beginning of our book? Butterflies, beautiful. And one more puppet I have for you that can fly today. This will be something that you remember from the end pages of our book. The bird. Now my particular bird puppet here is a bluebird, and my bluebird has something in its mouth. I think those are worms to give to the baby birds. Yeah. Now, all of my puppets today had the commonality that they can fly, but they also have something else in common, and that is that they all start with the same letter. Let's hear those words again and see if you know the letter. We had a bird and a bee and a butterfly. What letter do all those start with? B, b, b. That is the letter B. Did you say B? Very good. So our last book today is actually going to be an alphabet book. So we're going to focus a little bit more on the alphabet towards the end. My next book is about a animal that starts with the letter F. That is a frog. And it is called Being Frog by April Puliseri. Now, April Puliseri is the author. That means that she wrote the words, and this book, we'll listen for the rhymes in this book too because it is a poem. And she also took the photographs. And if you are not familiar with April Puliseri's photography already, please check her out. Her photography skills are phenomenal, and every single book she publishes is just amazing. And this is one of her newest. It's called Being Frog. We open up here, oh, to these lovely yellow pages. And on the flap, we have a question. What is it like to be a frog? This poem is going to answer that question for us. Being Frog by April Puliseri. A frog is a being. It is watching. It is seeing. A frog has favorites. This rock, this log. Its daily job, support the frog. How does the frog support itself? Does it need money? No, it needs food. A frog must hunt. It scans, it spies, it crawls, it lunges, it fails, retries. Look at that jumping frog. Wow, we can see from a different perspective here, can't we? Does not catch the fly every time. Did you hear that? Said it fails and then it retries. It cools in shade beneath a flower. It hides underwater, bath or shower. I had to really look to find the frog because it's hiding. But if you can look right there, see that frog hiding under the water? All the bubbles surrounding it, that helps it hide. It kicks and surfaces, its eyeballs gaze. Does it remember tadpole days? Do you know what a tadpole is? We're going to find out on the next page. It's part of the frog's life cycle. First egg, then tadpole. First egg, then tadpole, 2 legs, 4. So a tadpole is the baby frog. A tiny froglet climbed ashore. Now it suns. It cave spelunks. A green frog calls with a glunk, glunk, glunks. Do you have a frog sound that you can make? Often when we make a frog sound, we say ribbit, 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 or maybe croak, croak, croak. But April Puliseri found that the frogs at her pond made this sound. Glunk, glunk, glunks. Can you try that sound? Glunk, glunk, glunks. It climbs a cliff, mossy, steep. It sits so still, then suddenly... I want us to predict the next word on the page. Let's hear what the rhyme might be. I'm going to read that again. It climbs a cliff, mossy, steep. It sits so still, then suddenly... What do you think it's going to do? What rhymes with steep? Leap! Is that what you said? Excellent. Oh, and let's not forget about our frog here. Wow, look, it leaped so high. You can only see the bottom half of its body. It leaped right off that page. Does it ponder? We don't yet know. Does frog time fly or trail snail slow? waiting, watching, scanning, seeing. A frog has a life. A frog is a being. And that is the end of the poem, but there are many more words here in our author's note on the back, in the back matter of this book. And if you enjoy a story especially, you can usually find more information about it, especially if it's a nonfiction book like this is, in the back. And in this author's note, April Polisari lets us know that she photographed these frogs at a local pond near her house. And so she got to know them very well. She says she photographed them and watched them and observed for hours and hours. And you can find out more about that by reading that author's note. And our story still isn't over because there are more pages. As long as there are more pages, there's more. Well, the story might be over, but the book isn't over. And you really want to go to the very end because you might find your very favorite photograph at the very end, like I did in this book. This is my very favorite frog photograph in the entire book. I just love that guy. All right, I hope you enjoyed being frog, and we get to end out with our beautiful yellow end pages again, which reminds me so much of the sunshine, and that reminds me of another summer song that I'd like to teach you today. Now, if you're just joining us, welcome. You're just in time for a song. We're going to do one song now, and then we're going to do a song at the very end, and for that song, in case you missed it in the beginning, it'd be great if you could have something that you can use for a scarf for our ending song today. All right, so if you want to grab that, we've got about 8 minutes left. So towards the end, we'll do that. But my next song is something that you can do either sitting down or standing up. So you can decide if you'd like to stand up now or if you'd like to stay seated. If you're sitting down, we're going to start ringing. We're going to start going around. So if you're sitting down, you can do like a ring around, like the wheels on the bus motion. Or if you're standing up, you can spin your whole body around. Or if you're standing up, you can do both if you want to challenge yourself and do both. All right, so it's going to sort of be like Ring Around the Rosie, except this is called Ring Around the Summer Tree. And we're going to do it 3 times so you can learn it with me. Okay, here we go. Ring around the summer tree, all full of leaves. Now let's make our trees above our head. Sunshine, sunshine, catch a gentle breeze. Can you make a breeze? Shh. Very good. So we did 3 things. We ring around, then we made our trees above our heads, then we made our breeze. Okay, let's try that again. Get ready to spin. Ring around the summer tree, all full of leaves. Sunshine, sunshine, catch a gentle breeze. Shh. Very good. One more time. Get our ring arounds ready. Here we go. Ring around the summer tree, all full of leaves. Sunshine, sunshine, catch a gentle breeze. Shh. Good. Put those breezes in your lap. I've got one more book to share. Oop, I forgot to give you a preview of our last book. I've got one more book to share with you today. And it is an alphabet book. And we're going to read it in a fun way. What I've done here is I put some letters in a tin. So I'm going to pull out a letter. And that's the way we're going to read the book. We're not going to read the whole thing. We're going to decide what letters we want to read. And I'd like to recommend that method to parents. If you're doing shared reading with your children, either you can do it the way I'm doing it or just simply ask them, what letter would you like to read next? You don't always have to read a book from beginning to end with your children. Sometimes it's great to let them take control. And if they want to go right to the second to last page, read that page with them. So that's a good shared reading tip for you. Now, our next book is called, and our next and last book is A is for apricot? No, apricot! Do you see the apricot? This is a fun alphabet book that combines the alphabet with fruits and vegetables and animals. And it is written by Mara Maragati. Maragati. Okay, so the way we're going to do it is I'm going to pull a letter out of my tin and see what we're going to read about first. And I got a W. All right, let's see what our W is. W is for whale melon. It is what? A watermelon plus a whale. Cool. All right, let's see what letter we get next. Oh, I got a D. D is for dragon fruit. Wow, look at that. Dragon fruit. Now, you might not know what a dragon fruit is. That's a little bit more of an unusual kind of fruit. So, again, just amazing. Even in board books, there's more to know sometimes in the back. So under our food facts, if you're not sure what something is, we can find out that a dragon fruit grows on a tropical cactus called the Honolulu Queen. So we can find out more. All right, let's see what our next letter is. Ooh, how about a B? B is for Broccolion. Wow, look at that amazing broccoli mane. Cool. All right, let's pull out another one. We have, a U. U is for unicorn. Corn plus a unicorn. That worked out, didn't it? All right, let's do one more letter. We have an O. O is for an octoplum. A plum plus an octopus. Awesome. All right, thank you so much for sharing this book with me. Okay, hopefully you were able to grab a scarf. We're going to do our Peapod song with our scarf. If not, you can always run real quick to get one now, or you can just listen and learn and do this after our story time is over. So we're going to start out hiding our scarves away in our hands. And we're going to do that. We're also going to spin our scarf, and we're going to toss our scarves up in the air. Woo! So those are the three things that we're going to do for our scarf song today. So we're going to start out hiding away. Are you ready? Here we go. This is called 5 Fat Peas. 5 fat peas in a pea pod pressed. 1 grew, 2 grew, so did all the rest. They grew and they grew and they did not stop until one day that pod went pop! Woo! Good job! Did you catch your scarf? Awesome. Let's try it again. We're going to do it 2 more times. Ready? 5 fat peas in a pea pod pressed. 1 grew, 2 grew, so did all the rest. They grew and they grew and they did not stop until one day that pod went pop! Woo! Good job. All right, one last time. Ready? Hide your scarves away. 5 fat peas in a pea pod pressed. 1 grew, 2 grew, so did all the rest. They grew and they grew and they did not stop until one day that pod went pop! Ah! You know what? I see the time and we have time for one more. Let's do it. All right, hide your scarves away. 5 fat peas in a pea pod pressed. 1 grew, 2 grew, so did all the rest. They grew and they grew and they did not stop until one day that pod went pop! Woo! Good job, everyone. All right, thank you so much for joining me this evening. Don't forget, there'll be another bedtime stories next week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 o'clock. Good night, everyone.